What if the world as we know it was shaped not just by human hands, but by the forces of nature? Around 1000 AD, environmental changes were making their mark on civilizations across the globe. This period was a pivotal time when climate and culture collided, leading to significant societal transformations. Around this time, the planet was entering what scientists refer to as the medieval warm period. This climatic shift brought about warmer temperatures, affecting agricultural practices and food production in various cultures. In Europe, the warmer climate led to an expansion of arable land. Regions once considered marginal for farming transformed into productive fields, spurring population growth and urbanization. In contrast, the warmer temperatures affected the Norse settlements in Greenland. As the climate changed, it became increasingly difficult to sustain farming and livestock, leading to the decline of these communities. Meanwhile, in Asia, the warmer climate positively impacted the Silk Road trade routes. Increased agricultural output in China fueled economic growth, enhancing exchanges with distant lands. The Islamic Golden Age was also flourishing during this period, with scholars and scientists making significant advances. Such advancements were made possible by the stability provided by favorable climatic conditions. However, not all regions thrived. The Sahel region of Africa faced significant challenges as it began to dry out, impacting agriculture and leading to migrations in search of better land. As societies adapted to environmental changes, unique cultural practices emerged. In the Andes, the Inca developed advanced agricultural techniques, including terrace farming, to cope with diverse climates. Across the globe, indigenous cultures were also responding to environmental shifts. The Pueblo peoples of North America developed intricate water conservation techniques to thrive in arid conditions. In Africa, the Great Zimbabwe civilization thrived due to its strategic location and access to resources. The interplay of climate and geography facilitated trade and cultural exchange. As climatic conditions fluctuated, so did the dynamics of power. Societies often found themselves in conflict over dwindling resources, sparking territorial disputes. The consequences of environmental changes extended beyond agriculture and trade. They influenced belief systems, with some cultures attributing natural disasters to the displeasure of deities. In 1000 AD, the world was a tapestry woven from threads of climate, culture, and conflict. Each civilization faced unique challenges, but also discovered innovative solutions to thrive amid change. As we reflect on the environmental changes of 1000 AD, we recognize the enduring impact of nature on human societies. Understanding this relationship can guide us in addressing today's climate challenges. By 1000 AD, the climate began to warm slightly after the cooler centuries of the Dark Ages. This gradual warming opened new agricultural opportunities across Europe, leading to increased food production. Villages expanded as populations grew, marking a significant shift in settlement patterns throughout the continent. In regions like Scandinavia, the warming climate allowed for more reliable farming, enhancing the Vikings' ability to expand their territories. With a surplus of crops, these Norse seafarers could establish trade routes and settlements far beyond their homelands. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, the agricultural revolution had already transformed the landscape. Innovations like irrigation allowed civilizations such as the Abbasid Empire to thrive in arid regions, fostering the growth of cities and culture. In contrast, parts of sub-Saharan Africa faced environmental challenges due to shifting rainfall patterns. The unpredictable climate forced communities to adapt their farming techniques and even their social structures to survive. The indigenous peoples of the Americas also experienced their own climatic shifts. The warming climate in Mesoamerica favored the development of complex societies such as the Maya, who capitalized on agricultural advancements, leading to urbanization and cultural flourishing. As urban centers thrived in regions like Mesoamerica, the increased socio-political complexity necessitated innovations in governance and infrastructure. These changes laid the groundwork for advanced civilization dynamics, showcasing the interplay between environment and culture. In the Far East, the Song dynasty in China was also experiencing agricultural advancements. The introduction of fast-ripening rice from Southeast Asia significantly boosted food production, supporting a growing population and fostering trade. This agricultural boom in China sparked a cultural renaissance characterized by technological innovations and artistic achievements. With abundant resources, scholars and artisans thrived, leaving a legacy that would influence generations. The interplay of climate and culture was not limited to thriving civilizations. Environmental changes also led to migrations of peoples, such as the Bantu migrations in Africa, which spread agricultural techniques and languages across the continent. In Europe, the potential for agricultural expansion and trade led to a resurgence of cities, giving rise to a merchant class. Towns became centers of commerce and culture, reshaping societal structures across the continent. As cities grew, so did the influence of the church in Europe. The climate-fueled agricultural surplus allowed monasteries to become centers of learning, preserving knowledge and fostering cultural growth during a time of relative peace. Conversely, regions suffering from adverse environmental changes face societal fragmentation. In areas affected by drought or famine, conflicts erupted as communities struggled for dwindling resources, leading to instability. The resilience of societies often depended on their ability to adapt to environmental pressures. Innovative solutions emerged as people developed new farming methods, altered their diets, and diversified their economies to weather the storms of change. In ancient India, a similar relationship unfolded as the Indian subcontinent faced monsoon variability. The reliance on seasonal rains influenced agricultural practices and the social fabric, leading to the rise of flourishing states such as the Chola dynasty. As societies navigated these environmental landscapes, trade routes became crucial lifelines, connecting distant cultures and facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and agricultural knowledge. The Silk Road exemplified this interconnectedness. The flourishing trade also brought about the spread of technological innovations. Techniques like papermaking and the compass traveled along these routes, influencing cultures and economies far beyond their origins. In conclusion of this segment, the cascading effects of climate changes continue to underscore the complex relationship between nature and human societies. Understanding these dynamics provides a lens through which we can view our modern challenges as echoes of history. The impact of these changes reverberated through time, shaping cultural identities and societal structures. As we journey through these interconnected histories, we begin to see how the past informs our present. The lessons learned from these civilizations remind us that while nature is often a formidable force, human ingenuity and resilience can provide pathways to survival and growth. How societies respond to environmental challenges remains a poignant topic today. As we delve deeper into the legacies of past societies, we must consider how they have navigated the tides of change. Their stories serve not only as a reflection of their time, but also as a guide for our future interactions with the environment. In the year 1000 AD, a series of climatic shifts began to reshape the European landscape. The medieval warm period was marked by unusually warm weather, which extended growing seasons. This led to an increase in agricultural production, allowing societies to flourish. The thriving of crops encouraged population growth, prompting a wave of community expansion in villages and towns. As agricultural success ignited prosperity, populations migrated to urban centers where trade flourished. The burgeoning cities became cultural melting pots where ideas and innovations were exchanged. Craftsmen and merchants thrived in this new environment, enhancing local economies and fostering regional identities. However, prosperity also invited challenges. The reliance on monoculture made these societies vulnerable to disease and pestilence. When crop failure struck, the effects were devastating, leading to famine and social unrest. The interconnectedness of communities meant that one region's crisis could ripple through entire kingdoms. The Viking Age, which was at its height around this time, showcased how climate influenced exploration. Warmer waters allowed Viking ships to reach new lands, leading to settlements in Greenland and parts of North America. This maritime expansion was not merely for conquest, but for resources and new farming opportunities. In contrast, parts of the world faced harsher environmental realities. The rise of desertification in North Africa and the Middle East forced many communities to adapt or relocate. Nomadic tribes thrived amidst these challenges, developing sophisticated techniques for managing limited resources and sustaining their way of life. Meanwhile, in Asia, the impact of climate on agriculture was profound. The introduction of new irrigation techniques in the fertile plains of China transformed rice cultivation. Innovations in farming enabled societies to harness water, leading to surplus production and vibrant trade networks across the continent. The interconnectedness of nature and human endeavors wasn't limited to agriculture alone. Architectural advancements were also influenced by climatic conditions. In regions prone to earthquakes or floods, societies began to build structures designed to withstand these natural challenges, reflecting a deep understanding of their environment. Trade routes, too, were shaped by environmental factors. The Silk Road flourished as merchants navigated its winding paths, connecting Asia to Europe. The climate's influence on the availability of goods and the safety of travel routes dictated the flow of commerce, contributing to the richness of cultures along the way. As these societies grappled with climatic challenges, religious and cultural adaptations emerged. Many turned to spiritual practices, believing that appeasing nature's forces could ensure their survival. Rituals celebrating harvests and asking for rain became vital components of cultural identity, blending faith with the realities of existence. Despite the trials, resilience defined human experience. Civilizations learned to navigate through crises and adapt to their changing environments. Innovations sparked by necessity laid the groundwork for future advancements, proving that the interplay between climate and culture was not merely a backdrop but a driving force of historical evolution. In the Americas, particularly among the indigenous cultures, environmental stewardship was often an integral part of life. Techniques such as controlled burns and sustainable agriculture allowed these societies to thrive in harmony with nature. Their profound understanding of ecosystems shaped their cultural practices, contrasting sharply with the exploitative tendencies of some European counterparts. The varied responses to environmental changes highlight the adaptability of human societies, from the innovative agrarian societies of Asia to the resilient nomads of Africa. Each civilization crafted unique solutions to survive. These stories of human ingenuity remind us that in the face of adversity, creativity often shines brightest. The histories of these societies show a tapestry woven from strands of environmental influence and cultural response. Each interaction with nature's forces shaped identities, beliefs, and practices. Understanding this intricate relationship allows us to appreciate the depth of human resilience and creativity throughout time. As we continue to explore the legacies of these civilizations, we see that their adaptations laid the groundwork for future generations. The lessons learned in navigating environmental challenges resonate today, highlighting the continuous need to find harmony with nature. The echoes of their struggles and triumphs remind us of our responsibility. In the face of changing climates, the ability to innovate and adapt has remained pivotal throughout history. Today's society stands on the shoulders of those who faced the tides of change centuries ago. Their stories are not just history. They are living lessons about resilience, creativity, and the enduring bond between humanity and the environment. As we delve deeper into the nuances of climate and culture, we uncover the rich narratives of societies that shaped our world. Each adaptation, each struggle, provides insight into the complex relationship humans have with their environment. These historical accounts inspire us to consider our own relationship with nature and the legacy we wish to leave behind. The interplay of climate and culture did not just craft societies, but also formed worldviews. Beliefs about nature, spirituality, and community were often molded by environmental factors. As we explore these themes, we recognize that the cultural fabric of societies is intricately linked to their physical surroundings, offering a profound understanding of human history. From ancient temples to modern cities, the legacy of environmental interaction is evident. The architectural styles, agricultural practices, and cultural traditions of societies reflect the landscapes they inhabit. These physical manifestations of culture remind us that we are part of a larger ecological story that transcends time and place. The resilience of societies in facing environmental challenges is matched by their ability to innovate. Technological advancements, whether in agriculture or construction, often arose from necessity. This creative response to challenges has been a defining hallmark of human history, shaping civilizations as they adapted to their evolving environments. Art, too, has reflected humanity's relationship with the environment. From ancient cave paintings to medieval tapestries, artistic expression has often depicted the struggles and triumphs of societies in relation to nature. These works serve as both historical records and a testament to the enduring connection between culture and the natural world. As societies advanced, their philosophical and moral frameworks began to evolve in tandem with their environmental realities. Ecocentric philosophies emerged, emphasizing stewardship of the land and respect for natural resources. These ideas laid the groundwork for future sustainability practices and environmental ethics in various cultures. The tales of resilience and adaptation echo throughout history, providing vital lessons for contemporary society. As we face our own environmental challenges today, the experiences of past civilizations offer guidance on the importance of adaptability and innovation. Understanding their journeys inspires a deeper commitment to creating a sustainable future. Ultimately, the narrative of human civilization is one of navigating the complexities of existence amid changing environments. The balance between cultural evolution and environmental forces will always be a critical aspect of history. As we reflect on these interconnections, we must consider how we will shape our future in harmony with the Earth. In our journey through history, we find that each era contributes to the mosaic of human experience. The challenges faced by societies in 1000 AD resonate in our modern world, reminding us of our ongoing responsibility to the environment. As we continue to explore, we seek to uncover the lessons that will guide us into a sustainable and equitable future for all. The continuing exploration of environmental changes and societal adaptations provides a framework for understanding our place in the world. Each chapter of history adds to the rich narrative of resilience and ingenuity. As we unravel these stories, we gain insights that could potentially illuminate our path forward. In celebrating the triumphs and trials of past societies, we recognize the interconnectedness of all cultures. The environmental challenges they faced are not dissimilar to those we confront today. As we look to the future, may we draw strength and wisdom from their legacies, striving to find balance in our own lives. As the narrative of human civilization unfolds, one truth remains clear: the choices we make today will echo through generations. The stories of resilience, adaptation, and innovation serve as powerful reminders of our potential to create change. Armed with the lessons of the past, we have the opportunity to forge a better future for all. Each society's response to environmental challenges adds to the tapestry of human history, threading together resilience, creativity, and adaptability. The narratives of these civilizations urge us to evaluate our relationship with the environment critically. As we acknowledge their impact, we are inspired to take actionable steps today and for future generations. As we venture into the complexities of our own time, understanding the lessons from the 1000 AD becomes increasingly vital. The challenges faced then mirror those we encounter today, urging a reevaluation of our practices and the cultural narratives we uphold. The past holds keys to a future where society and nature coexist harmoniously. The legacies of ancient civilizations resonate within modern society, offering both warnings and inspiration. How we respond to climate challenges today can either mirror historical failures or reflect their successes. Collectively, we hold the power to shape a narrative of resilience, innovation, and sustainability for generations to come. In closing, the intricate dance of environmental changes and societal responses continues to unfold. As we contemplate the past, we are reminded of our immense responsibility to protect our planet. The stories of those who navigated their challenges guide us as we seek to foster sustainable practices for future generations, ensuring a legacy worth celebrating. As the new millennium approached, the world witnessed significant climatic shifts. The medieval warm period began, transforming landscapes, influencing crops, and shifting human settlement patterns. This change invited both challenges and opportunities for societies across the globe. In Europe, warmer temperatures extended growing seasons, allowing for surplus agriculture. This bounty led to population growth, urbanization, and the rise of trade networks. Villages expanded into bustling towns, fostering a vibrant economic exchange. However, not all regions benefited equally. In some areas, prolonged droughts punctuated the climate, leading to food shortages and social unrest. Societies faced hardships, forcing them to adapt or face the consequences of nature's unpredictability. Meanwhile, in the Americas, the ancestral Puebloans thrived in the arid Southwest, developing intricate irrigation systems. Their ingenuity allowed them to cultivate crops despite challenging environmental conditions, exemplifying humanity's resilience. Across the Atlantic, the Norse settlers in Greenland faced an increasingly harsh climate. As temperatures fell, their once thriving colonies struggled, illustrating the fragility of existence in their far-flung settlements. In Asia, the Song dynasty flourished amid favorable climatic conditions. Agricultural innovations led to increased rice production, which supported a burgeoning population and cultural advancements, including art and science. However, like Europe, China faced regional disparities. Northern provinces experienced harsher weather, which led to migration and internal strife as populations sought more hospitable lands. This upheaval was a testament to nature's influence on human movement. The Islamic Golden Age was also marked by environmental influences. Access to fertile land and trade routes enabled scholars and merchants to flourish, leading to advancements in science, literature, and philosophy, revealing the interconnectedness of climate and culture. As trade networks expanded across continents, cultural exchanges occurred alongside environmental shifts. The Silk Road facilitated not just the transfer of goods, but also ideas, illustrating how climate could reshape societal interactions. By the late 11th century, societies began to recognize the need for sustainable practices in response to environmental challenges. Innovations such as crop rotation and improved irrigation techniques emerged as communities sought to harmonize with nature. In the Arctic, the Inuit adapted their lifestyles to the changing environment. Their traditional knowledge of the land allowed for innovative hunting and fishing techniques, showcasing human adaptability in the face of climate change. As climate patterns shifted, migratory patterns of wildlife also changed, impacting food sources for many cultures. This forced societies to rethink their dependencies on natural resources, leading to new hunting grounds and foraging strategies. In the Middle East, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers sustained ancient civilizations. However, their unpredictable flooding required communities to develop complex water management systems, revealing the influence of nature on urban development. In Africa, the rise of the Mali Empire coincided with favorable climatic conditions that enhanced agriculture and trade. Cities like Timbuktu became cultural and educational hubs, thriving on the wealth generated by rich resources. This wealth, however, was not without challenges. Environmental stresses, such as drought, would later test the resilience of the Mali Empire. Communities had to learn to navigate these challenges, adapting their practices over time. As we move into this dynamic period, the lessons learned from the past become crucial. The interplay of climate, culture, and innovation shaped civilizations in ways that resonate throughout history, guiding future generations in their responses to nature. While some cultures flourished, Others faced decline due to environmental pressures. The rise and fall of societies illustrates the delicate balance between human achievement and nature's relentless forces. As the 11th century progressed, the relationship between climate and culture deepened. Discussions surrounding sustainable practices emerged, highlighting the need for harmony with the environment amid growing human populations. In the Pacific Islands, the Polynesians showcased remarkable navigational skills, utilizing environmental cues to journey across vast oceanic distances. Their deep understanding of nature's patterns illustrated the human capacity for exploration and adaptation. The interconnectedness of these cultures reveals a web of influence spurred by environmental changes. As communities adapted differently to their unique surroundings, distinct cultural identities formed, driven by necessity and innovation. As we continue to explore this era, we uncover the emergence of complex societies that thrived on the brink of nature's unpredictable forces. Their achievements serve as both lessons and warnings for contemporary society. The rise of feudal systems in Europe demonstrated how societies reorganized in response to environmental and economic pressures. Land ownership and agricultural practices became central to social structures, shaping the course of history. Simultaneously, the spread of technology, particularly in agriculture, allowed for greater efficiency. Innovations such as the heavy plow and the horse collar transformed farming practices, enabling societies to thrive despite environmental challenges. In the context of religion and spirituality, many cultures began to interpret environmental shifts through their beliefs. Natural disasters were often viewed as divine messages, prompting societies to adapt their practices and rituals. As cultures evolved, so too did their understanding of the natural world. The convergence of science and philosophy during this time fostered inquiry into environmental phenomena, laying the groundwork for future advancements in understanding climate and ecology. As we delve deeper, it becomes apparent that the interplay between human civilization and environmental factors was not just a matter of survival. It laid the foundation for cultural expressions, art, and collective identities. By the end of the 11th century, the world was at a crossroads. Civilizations had adapted in various ways to environmental changes, creating rich tapestries of culture that reflected their unique experiences and challenges. The consequences of these adaptations were far-reaching. As societies progressed, their decisions regarding the environment would echo through time, reminding us of the importance of ecological stewardship. In conclusion, the journey of human civilization amidst environmental changes illustrates an ongoing narrative. As past societies navigated their relationship with nature, they paved the way for future generations to learn from their triumphs and failures. As we leave this exploration, the impact of climate and culture on society remains an essential chapter in the story of humanity. It invites us to reflect on our own journey and the choices we make in the face of nature's forces. By the year 1000 AD, the world was undergoing significant climate shifts. The medieval warm period began to emerge. Leading to milder temperatures in Europe, this warming trend had profound effects on agriculture, allowing for extended growing seasons. Such changes spurred population growth, trade, and the rise of new societal structures. In contrast, the regions closer to the equator faced different challenges. Deforestation and overuse of land diminished the once fertile grounds in places like the Mayan civilization. As food became scarce, societies had to adapt or face collapse, showcasing nature's unforgiving power. Meanwhile, in the Asian steppes, nomadic tribes thrived under the influence of climate. The availability of grazing land for livestock contributed to the rise of the Mongolian Empire. Their mobility allowed them to exploit resources efficiently, adapting to the environment's challenges. Coastal societies also began to adapt to their changing environments around 1000 AD. The Vikings, known for their seafaring prowess, expanded their territories into Greenland and Iceland. Their mastery of shipbuilding enabled them to explore and exploit new resources, highlighting the connection between nature and navigation. In Africa, The Sahara's expansion due to climatic changes forced communities to shift. Trade routes evolved as people moved southward, leading to the flourishing of kingdoms like Ghana. The gold trade became a vital economic driver, demonstrating resilience amidst environmental adversity. As agricultural practices evolved, so too did social structures. In China, advancements in rice cultivation improved food security, leading to population booms. The Song dynasty capitalized on these innovations, resulting in greater urbanization and cultural advancements. The interconnectedness of societies during this period is evident in the Silk Road trade routes. Goods, ideas, and technologies flowed between East and West, influenced by climatic conditions that either encouraged or hindered travel. Such exchanges were crucial for cultural development. However, these advancements were often met with challenges. Natural disasters, such as droughts and floods, wreaked havoc on civilization. The reliance on monsoon seasons in India exemplifies how environmental factors dictated agricultural success and societal stability. Cultural interpretations of climate also played a crucial role in how societies adapted. Many communities revered nature, seeing it as a divine force. These beliefs often influenced their agricultural practices and societal norms, showcasing a deep connection with the environment. In Europe, as the climate warmed, feudalism began to solidify its grip on society. Land ownership became synonymous with power, and as crop yields improved, lords and vassals established more defined roles within their communities. This hierarchy would dominate European life for centuries. The intertwining of climate and culture is further illustrated by the agricultural revolution in the Americas. Civilizations like the Aztecs constructed sophisticated irrigation systems. These innovations were necessary to sustain their crops, and they demonstrated the resilience of cultures to environmental pressures. Religious and spiritual beliefs often dictated how societies interacted with their environments. In many cultures, rituals aimed at appeasing the gods for favorable weather conditions became customary. Such practices reveal the deep-seated human desire to harness nature's unpredictable forces. As the year 1000 AD approached its zenith, conflicts arose over dwindling resources. Societies like the Byzantine Empire faced pressure from growing populations and external threats. Climate changes exacerbated these tensions, illustrating the fragility of human existence against environmental forces. The interconnectedness of civilizations also led to shared responses to challenges posed by the environment. Farmers across Europe began to adopt crop rotation practices to enhance soil fertility. This collective adaptation exemplified a growing understanding of sustainable agriculture. As knowledge traveled along trade routes, innovations in technology flourished. The introduction of the heavy plow in Europe, adapted to the rich northern soils, transformed agriculture. This advancement not only increased yields, but also reshaped social structures within these communities. The role of women in agriculture began to shift. As environmental demands changed, in many cultures, women took on greater responsibilities in managing food production. Their contributions became essential to societies, revealing the dynamic roles individuals play in response to environmental factors. In Japan, the Taika reforms introduced new agricultural practices influenced by climate changes. As rice became a staple, the government promoted irrigation methods to maximize yields. These reforms were a direct response to the growing needs of the population. By understanding the cycles of nature, early societies began to develop calendars that informed agricultural planning. These calendars, often based on lunar cycles, dictated when to plant and harvest. Such knowledge was crucial for ensuring food security in unpredictable climates. With the growth of cities, urban centers began to emerge as hubs of culture and trade. These densely populated areas faced unique environmental challenges, such as pollution and waste management. The adaptability of societies to these conditions would lay the groundwork for future urbanization trends. As trade flourished, the exchange of ideas became paramount. Innovations, such as windmills and water wheels, were adopted across Europe, enhancing productivity. This synergy between culture and technology exemplified how societies adapted to their environmental challenges. The understanding of natural resources paved the way for early forms of conservation. As overexploitation threatened their livelihoods, some cultures began to implement sustainable practices. This foresight into resource management would echo through generations. In the Americas, the rise of the Mississippian culture reflected a complex relationship with the environment. The construction of large earthen mounds indicated advanced agricultural practices and societal organization. This culture thrived due to their adaptability to environmental conditions. As the 11th century approached, the climate began to shift again, signaling the dawn of the Little Ice Age. This transition would pose significant hardships for many civilizations, forcing them to reconsider their relationship with the environment. Adaptation strategies would be put to the test, and as communities faced inevitable changes, the cultural narratives surrounding nature became more pronounced. Many stories and myths emerged reflecting humanity's struggle against the elements. These narratives not only entertained, but also educated future generations about environmental stewardship. As cultural identities evolved, so did the arts and literature. The integration of environmental themes into storytelling reflected society's experiences with nature. Such expressions became a vital part of cultural heritage, intertwining human experience with the natural world. The impact of climate on human health began to be recognized as well. Societies noted how certain conditions, like drought or flooding, led to famine and disease. These realizations prompted discussions about community resilience and health practices. As the political landscape changed, alliances and conflicts arose based on environmental resources. The need for fertile land and access to waterways led to both collaboration and strife among neighboring societies. Understanding these dynamics was essential for survival. In regions like the Arctic, indigenous communities developed unique survival strategies that thrived in extreme climates. Their knowledge of local ecosystems allowed them to adapt hunting and gathering techniques, showcasing resilience in the face of harsh conditions. As maritime cultures blossomed, fishing became a central pillar of many societies. The relationship between fishing practices and environmental conditions became evident, with overfishing posing threats to sustainability. This early awareness of environmental limits was crucial for future generations. The rise of trade networks emphasized the importance of natural resources. Salt, a critical commodity, dictated economic power and trade routes. Control over such resources often led to conflict, but also fostered alliances, intertwining the fates of various cultures. The concept of land ownership began to evolve significantly during this period. As societies grew, so did the need to define territorial boundaries. This shift contributed to social stratification and conflicts over claims, illustrating the complexities of human interaction with the environment. The expansion of empires also brought about a need for resource management on a larger scale. The Roman Empire's network of aqueducts showcases their ingenuity in responding to environmental challenges, ensuring water supply for their vast territories. Cultural diffusion became a vital aspect of survival as societies learned from one another. The exchange of agricultural techniques across borders allowed communities to adapt crops better suited to their climates. This blending of knowledge proved essential for resilience. As new agricultural practices were implemented, the landscape transformed. Terracing in the Andes allowed civilizations to cultivate steep slopes effectively. This ingenuity not only maximized agricultural output, but also demonstrated how societies could adapt to varied terrains. The expansion of trade routes led to the global exchange of not just goods, but also ideas about environmental stewardship. Cultures began to recognize the importance of preserving their surroundings, fostering early conservation efforts that would benefit future generations. As customs and traditions evolved, festivals emerged celebrating the changing seasons. These gatherings often included rituals thanking nature for its bounty, reinforcing the bond between society and the environment. Such celebrations became central to cultural identity. Early scientific observations of nature began to take root as scholars recorded weather patterns. Understanding these patterns became crucial for agricultural planning and disaster preparedness. This intellectual curiosity laid the foundation for future scientific endeavors. The cultural significance of animals in various societies also reflected human interaction with nature. Domesticated animals played critical roles in agriculture and transport, while wild animals inspired tales influencing art and literature across civilizations. As the year 1000 AD concluded, the interplay of climate and culture continued to shape societies. The resilience displayed in adapting to environmental challenges laid the groundwork for future advancements. Understanding these relationships is crucial as history unfolds. Around this time, early forms of governance began to emerge in response to environmental pressures. Leaders were often chosen based on their ability to manage resources effectively, reflecting the importance of sustainable practices in governance. The significance of water in sustaining life became central in many cultures, from irrigation in Mesopotamia to the Nile's floods in Egypt. Societies learned to harness water's power, shaping agricultural practices and supporting dense populations. The use of fire for land management became a pivotal practice in various regions. Indigenous groups in North America utilized controlled burns to promote healthy growth and biodiversity, showcasing an intimate knowledge of their ecosystems. Animal husbandry developed into a vital economic practice, with livestock becoming essential to trade and sustenance. The adaptation of herding techniques across cultures reflected both environmental constraints and innovations in animal care. As cultural narratives continued to evolve, the role of storytelling became more pronounced. Myths and legends often conveyed lessons about harmony with nature, emphasizing the need for coexistence rather than exploitation of resources. In summary, the interplay between environmental changes and societal adaptations around the year 1000 AD reflects a rich tapestry of human experience. This period serves as a reminder of the significant impact nature has on the course of human history, setting the stage for future challenges.